We are live. One like, no person. Now one person, one like. What's up, Stephen Knight? How are you, my friend? Hope everyone is doing well this evening. The one person that's with me, old SK. RH is here too. Cannot forget old RH. How's everybody's night going so far? Damn it. Kathy, Brandon, Puma Pete, how are you? Hey, Jesse, good. How are you? Fire Horse, Nicole Clark, Rockin' Steady Rockin'. Rita Robbins, how are you? Sharon, Ohio Hurricane, what's going on? How are you? I was just looking at one of your emails you sent me. What's up, Troy? Jonathan Roberts, Jacob Hillard, Mr. Rabbit and Company, Jim Brunson. Caden. Hey, Caden. Hey, Donna, how are you? Snowman Dave. Laura, Nicholas Carroll, Gary, Charles Widmore, how are you? Knight of Charlie, how are you, Charlie Knight? Shackle Neck, what's going on? Hey, Penny. Nicola, how are you? How's your trip going? I got your email yesterday. Yesterday, I think it was. What's up, Mega? KHR, how are you? Jojo Michaela. What's up, this? There's DB Mac. Hello, Lake Superior girl. How are you tonight? Kathleen McCarthy, how are you? Carl! That was my Rick Grimes impersonation. Carl! Oh, shit. Hang on. I got to get the freaking... I forgot to get the shofar. There it is. There she be. Arr! Sparkle Bill the Sailor. Kakalina, how are you this evening? What's up, Dave Thompson? How are you? Oh, yeah. Wilburn! Is he here? Where's Wilburn? Wilburn sent me an email. Wilburn sent me an email this afternoon. And I literally, that's what I did on caps. I was like, Wilburn! Penny, that's an older upload, the Bumpus Mills. So the any updates are after that. Bumpus Mills was like about a year ago, 11 months ago, 10 months ago. Hey, Pops, how are you this evening? Colleen, how are you? Hey, MS. Cadence, everyone's sunshine. Yes, I have the Jewish saxophone with us this evening. The old Jewish saxophone, the shofar. Look at that thing. What's that? That famous fucking guy that plays the horn there? Kenny G. I'm the Kenny G of Shofar. The Kenny G of Shofar. How about that? Jeff, shit keeps popping in to say hi where I work, and I'm not a fan of them anymore. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be either. What's up, Kevin? How are you? Rick G, what's going on? Robert Sharp broke his little toe. How do you manage to break your little toe, Robert Sharp? Like, you must have kicked something awful hard. Or your little toe isn't that little. Robert Sharp's got the biggest little toe in the world. How are you, Kathy? I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I will, Donna. I'll get into it when people start to, when a little more people come in. Dogman stepped on it. No, Caden. Actually, the Dogman was probably licking it, like doing one of those little toe fetish on Robert Sharp's foot. Old RS is like, oh yeah. Or he had a nasty incident with a lot lizard. You know, I'm just kidding, Robert Sharp. Don't get mad. Jane is not going to be with us this evening. Jane is sick. Yeah, let's go, Phillies. We got Dodgers lost tonight 8-7, so I don't even want to talk about any other fucking baseball teams tonight. Moondog Rex, how are you? So, how was everybody's Eclipse Day who was able to witness the eclipse? Did everyone have a good day? Dodgers are still kicking ass. We're 10-3. It depends on where you were, Hickster, to be honest with you. If you were in totality, it was not overrated. If you were out of the totality range, even the 90% totality range, I think it was overrated. But I would agree. My daughter, my little Belle, we are talking about it, and she goes, is there any more, Dad? And you know, it's like now it's fading, and I'm like, no, bud. And she goes, well, that sucked. She goes, I thought it was going to get pitch black. And I'm like, it gets dark, but not pitch black. I'm like, imagine being a Native American, or like in the 1500s when like nobody knew anything, and all of a sudden the sky goes just dark. That'd be pretty interesting. You didn't miss $20 yet. We just started, Dina. 70%. Yeah, so 70%, it probably barely got dark. It probably got to like maybe dusk, I'd say. Barking Wolf Spider, how are you? Jason X missed out because he's in Australia. Yeah, but you'll get one soon. I think in like 10 years you guys will get yours. 5 or 10 or something like that. I was reading, there's like an article in the Adirondack magazine about all of the watched it with a welder's helmet. Yeah, people were wondering if that would work. Okay, 2028. Okay, so not too bad. 4 years. That's good. So, little interesting thing that I got as I was departing the area, I got those emergency kind of emergency whatever orders that you get for like, hang on a second. Like if something goes wrong, if you guys get like a a rainstorm or anything, or like a thunderstorm, you get one of those like addresses over your phone. And I took a picture of it so I could save it. But this is what it said. I got one of those public safety announcements. And it said, "What's up, George Coker? Yes, Kenny G is very odd, but Kenny G is still the Mac Daddy of the horn, except Kenny G is not the Mac Daddy of the Jewish saxophone. Jeffy N is. Jeffy N. Clint, I'm feeling well. I hope you are as well. Hey, Mindy, how are you? Corey D, what's up? So I got this public safety message. Can you play Careless Whispers on your shofar? Oh, no, I definitely. Holy shit, Donna Harmon, thank you so much, dearie. Everyone being here is no way. Wait, Donna, thank you so much. I love that, but Max Holloway just knocked out Justin Gaethje. Get the fuck out. Donna Harmon, thank you very much. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. But fucking A, Max Holloway knocking out Gaethje. I hate Gaethje. Does anyone else hate Gaethje? He's such a fuck. I love you, Donna Harmon. Thank you very much. The first $20 is $20 is dedicated to Donna Harmon and the first Jewish saxophone. But let's get back to this. So, New York State emergency management for travelers entering the North Country and High Peaks area. Do not block shoulders on any roadways. Emergency stopping only. Do not park on the sides of any road to ensure access for emergency vehicles. Violators will be towed. That was received at 3:15 on April 8th. So little weird, not too weird, but a little weird. All right. So Donna Harmon, this is for you. And for Max Holloway for knocking out Justin Gaethje. I swear to God, Justin Gaethje's mom and dad are related. If you don't know who Justin Gaethje is, just, he's such an idiot. $20 is $20. Donna Harmon, that one was for you. Feeling good, Sammy. Feeling good. What's up, Kat? So, my trip up to the missing 411 area. Oh, yeah, really quick. I got a good stack of experiences for us tonight, but I kind of want to share what happened up there. So I got there, and no one was surprisingly in Brant Lake. They were all a little more north, like northwest, up in Saranac Lake. Saranac. Pops, oh my God, thank you so much. God, thank you, dearie. You know I love you. So I got there. No one was in town. It was quiet. I'm walking around. Obviously, you saw the video. And there was a lot of birds. I noticed a lot more fowl up there. And like I caught that video of the woodpecker pecking away, which was really cool. I mean, this thing was huge. It was like that big. But just a really beautiful time up there. I used the dowsing rods at the Sharing Stone. Thank God Bigfoot didn't run at me with a jar of Vaseline. But when I was walking to the pathway where I saw whatever it was that crossed the trail that one time, I heard a whistle, and it literally sounded like a uh like a gym whistle, like a gym coach was whistling. And then nothing. And I'm looking around like, what the hell was that? And I didn't have my camera on because I had just taken off my flannel shirt. So then I decided to blow the shofar, and that noise was made. And I'll admit, at first I was like, is that an owl? But then I thought about the sound of it. And like I said in the video the other day, it one could not have been an owl because they don't hoot like that. They hoot plus or nor that long, 5 to 3 hoots, scientifically proven. But it more or less, it sounded more like a mourning dove instead of who. It was who, or like it sounded like whatever the noise kind of went down instead of up. If that's an explanation of anything, and it was longer. And for a split second, I almost thought it was a person. To be honest with you, I was like, is that like a person like playing with me? They hear the shofar and they, respond to it. But then I was like, there is no other access to where I was. So how, no one's going to walk down that road. There's the town, like I said, is not a very big town, one. And there's not a lot going on in that area. So it was just really strange. And then the second time was right before I was going to blow the shofar again. And Caleb Wyndham, how are you? What's up, James? James Hingardner, how are you? Ann and Bill. So, Eunice. So, it made that noise again, and I was just like, what in the hell is that noise? And for a while, I did honestly more or less think it was a person. More so than an owl, obviously. Then when I was heading out, there's this kind of boulder that kind of overlooks the valley. And I usually stand on that for a minute before I get to my car, just to kind of look around. And I was standing on there, and I heard the noise again, but far off in the distance, just really far out. So whatever it was moving away from me. Thank God. Because I don't know what it was. So then I waited 2 days and went up to Cornell Cooperative Extension. Now, I talked about Cornell Cooperative Extension a little bit. Hey, Brandy C, how are you? And not, you guys aren't from here. And I said, I went up to Cornell Cooperative Extension, like you guys would know what it is. Cornell Cooperative Extension. So
the listings for Cornell Cooperative Extension near Warren.
So Cornell Cooperative Extension is putting knowledge to work. Cornell Cooperative Extension puts knowledge to work in pursuit of economic vitality, ecological sustainability, and social well-being. Rooted in every county of the state, we bring local experience and research-based solutions together, helping New York State families and communities thrive. Our nearest one is in Warrensburg, New York. And they have a lot of, let's see. So they teach a lot of growth, sustainability in the North Country, upstate agriculture, just a lot of beekeeping and such. And there's always a park ranger up there. So that's why I brought it. And when I played, hey, Sammy, William Menendez, how are you guys? So when I brought it, and played it for the ranger, I was waiting for him to say, "Hey, that's that owl," and he listened, and he took a pause and asked me to rewind it, and I said, "Hang on, there's another one," and like a minute later, it played again. It did it again, and he's like, I don't know. That's not an owl." He goes, "You can hear an owl is the pitch in I guess cadence. I don't know the proper word would be different." Um, but it was all in all an interesting trip, and to be honest, I had never had so much wildlife noise in any of my videos being up there. There was a lot more bird noise anytime. So it was a good time. It was a good time. And I had fun. Abandoned army tunnels in Rockland or there's a few in upstate New York. There's I think there's 11 old underground silos that are in New York. Ironically enough, the magazine, the Adirondack magazine, had an article about them a couple months back, when I started to look into the dumbs again. Because I usually talk about dumbs and that for a year, and then I'll stop for a while and then talk about it again. But all in all, it was a good time. It was a good trip. And I'm glad that I came home. I wish each time I go there and I come home, I feel a little upset each time because I wish that I could find some sort of evidence from where Tom was. I really just want to. That's why I went blazing through the woods in that video. Like, I don't know. I feel like I go up there and I don't know if I'm doing him a disservice by not finding anything. But anyway. What's up, K-Dog? How are you? Let me see who else is in. RC, how are you? RC Jab. Salty Rant, how are you this evening? Sonny and the Wandering Gypsy. That is a sick, cool band name. You should be the lead singer of the band called Wandering Gypsy. What's up, Lucas? Hey, Jessica. How are you? Are Dogman killing more people in the woods? No, I wouldn't say, to be honest. I think more or less watching this as I begin my acid trip. Thomas Dove, I hope that I can help you enjoy your journey for a couple of hours, my friend. Yeah, boy. Montana Monsters. Anyway, no, I don't think that Dogman are killing more people nowadays than in any other time. I think we are getting more experiences shared with us now, like I said, because of the internet. But if you really listen to the dates of the encounters, the majority of the dates are older. There's not so many newer, because I think like someone has an experience, they have to process that for a little bit before they want to share it, if that makes any sense. Do you have any more encounters? I have a whole book of Dogman encounters, or a folder of Dogman encounters in West Virginia. I know Mercer County, West Virginia, is or was a hot spot for a while, and I hate that word hot spot, but where Mercer, West Virginia, Tazewell, and Buchanan, Virginia touch, there was a lot of strange disappearances and deaths in that area. What's up, Jay Cortez? Brett Pruitt, how are you? Thank you, Thomas Dove. Appreciate the love, my friend. All right, let's start this off with actually a West Virginia experience. In 2017, I was backpacking with my brother in the mountains of West Virginia. To get to our destination, we had to drive for about 2 hours up a very long and deep ditched road. After reaching the mountain, we got all our gear out of the car and started our hour-long hike into the woods. Our destination was at the edge of a small lake. Behind us was a long path back to the car, which was covered in fallen trees and thick brush. The area was surrounded by high, jagged cliffs. After about an hour of resting, we set up camp and started a fire. We proceeded to cook as the sun was setting over the large rock walls across from the lake from us. Just after sunset, the strangeness began. Every half an hour or so, my brother would hear what he said were soft footsteps coming from the trail behind us. I was really tired and kept blowing it off as a joke. However, as the night passed, he refused to stop talking about what he was hearing. I told him to shut up because I was tired of hearing about it. At around 11 p.m., the situation became more bizarre. I nodded off with my head propped on a log. Then suddenly a large crash could be heard from across the lake. My brother and I both got to our feet and grabbed our shotgun and 44 mag, walked to the edge of the lake to see if we could spot what made the noise. After a minute of staring into the pitch black night, Salty Brant, thank you, my friend, we decided to go back and lie down. We both thought that it must have been a loose boulder that had fallen off the face of the ridge. That was until my brother told me to stop in an abrupt whisper. Look there, he said, pointing towards the ridge to our left. It was then that I realized my brother really was hearing things all night long. About 100 yards away from us in the tree line was a figure that looked to be at least 10 feet tall, with glowing golden eyes. Paralyzed with fear, my brother and I watched as this large figure swayed back and forth, never taking our eyes off of it. Let's get the hell out of here, my brother yelled while shooting a round from his 44 mag into the lake. At this point, the figure stopped and stared. Its eyes seemed to get larger and brighter. Then, just as quick, the eyes were gone. We immediately started stoking the fire as fast as we could, not knowing if the figure would return. We decided to stay up all night, taking turns adding logs to the fire. After an hour or so, we heard a faint rustling in the brush. The rustling stopped when all of a sudden this thing roared out the most terrible scream I had ever heard. We grabbed our guns and gears. It was time to leave. We both started to sprint into the darkness with our lights off. We ran into the woods for at least 10 minutes until the two of us were out of breath and stopped. We turned on our lights to find the path and listened for the creature. It was moving towards us. We could hear the pounding of footsteps and branches snapping. This time, the lights stayed on as we ran nonstop, tripping over obstacles until we reached the car. The two of us threw our gear into the vehicle, locked the doors behind us. My brother was shaking from fear, fumbling with the keys. Just as he got the keys into the ignition, a loud scream from the creature blasted from the darkness. He started the car and gunned it. I don't know what the hell that thing was. All I can say is I will never return to those woods to find out. Julia Hobson, thank you so much. That was a really freaky story. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate that. Really freaky because 10 feet tall, unless 100 yards is pretty far away, in the dark to guesstimate a height. So 10 feet, I'd say maybe 8. But whatever, it's freaking scary. And who the fuck is going to run through the woods with no light? First of all, I would have stayed right by the fire. What's up, GSXR Pat? Rashawn, how are you? What's the tattoo on my arm? Bigfoot, believe, and then the tree. Catherine Kipp. Jeff, I recently watched Dogman and Dog Soldiers. Any good suggestions? For movies, I don't really watch. When are you gonna have any merchandise? K-Dog, I got lots of merchandise, my friend. I'm gonna do bumper stickers. I was thinking about doing posters and bumper stickers and hats. But what the hell? I don't remember what I was talking about. My brain just shut off. By your house, Joe? That's pretty scary. Tattoos are identifying marks. No thanks. Yeah, I'm sitting on the computer right now talking to people, and I have a YouTube channel, so anyone who watches my channel knows what I look like and who I am. So, what's up, True Perez? How are you? I've had some experiences. Anyone would probably run. How can I talk to you? Okay. I know there are a lot of strange things in Jersey, so my email address, I'm putting it in right now for you, Chew. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. And my email address is right under Jessica and above Puma Pete. Yeah, if K-Dog, if you're watching one of my videos and you look at your screen, right underneath it is the merch right there. To each their own, but again, active Sasquatch. I don't know what that campground is, but I would not doubt it. What's my name? I wouldn't doubt that at all, my friend. So especially in any kind of wilderness throughout our great country that we live in. Daryl Williams, thank you very much, my friend. The Bob Marshall Wilderness in Montana has lots of 411s. Glacier Park too. Yeah. Yup. Thanks, Rashawn. Appreciate that. And hi, Mrs. Rashawn. How are you? I hope you're having a good night. South Carolina. Okay. Yeah, in South Carolina, I would not doubt there being a Sasquatch. Hey, Doll, how are you tonight? Most definitely there would, What's my take on the LBL? I think it's overplayed. I really think it's an overplayed area. It's got a lot of experiences that people have talked about. But Taylor, Mississippi does as well. The Adirondacks do. Pretty much any large forest does. I think the LBL got played out because so many researchers and so many people were talking about it in the beginning of the 2000s that, it just became this hot spot. Nicola was just there. It definitely does have a different vibe to it from what I've heard, just like Nicola said. It's got a lot of strange kind of lore to it. I did like a history video on some of the things, debunking certain things like Vampire Hotel, Hotel California, this and that. There was no Vampire Hotel. It was actually like a steamship captain's home that dilapidated through the years. But yeah, I mean, there's been an attack there, obviously, but you know, I don't think there's more creatures there than anywhere else. That's just my own belief. What's up, Nick Hendricks? How are you tonight? Taylor Guitars, what's going on? Janine, how are you? Beretta, what's going on? So I got some really good experiences for you. Got some Dogman, some Bigfoot, some crawlers, some black-eyed kids, and you know, I've got a lot lizard experience that we'll talk about a little bit later. Did World War III start tonight? Did the movie start tonight? Isn't the movie supposed to be out tonight, or World War III? What's your take on feral humans? I've done a lot of videos on feral humans. I think they are. I don't know. I don't think they're human. I think more or less they're probably a. I mean, you've got your feral human that are like moonshiners and the ones that screw their sister and cousin out in the woods somewhere, you know. But then you've got your what I consider a feral human, which would be like a almost missing link of some kind. I think they're dangerous, and I think that I don't think they're human at all. I just think that's a good name. Appalachian Mountain feral humans. Well, you've got both parties of what I just mentioned are in the Appalachia. So, I mean, I did an upload and shared some experience or shared some information from a guy named Nick Van Drimeny, who wrote the book Them and Us. And he is an anthropologist and an archaeologist. And I think there's, you know, shit out there that I think they fall in that category of Dogman, Bigfoot, werewolf. They're very strong. More or less like a caveman kind of. That's just my own opinion. And then you've got that moonshining family that lives by their still, that their aunt is their mom and their grandmother and lover as well. But that's just my, you know. Could be Robert Sharp. Yeah, you should never go unarmed into the wilderness. You know, save your prayer and, you know, bring a gun. The more you know, the more you know, the less you wish you didn't. Yeah, there are feral human in Cadiz Cove 100%. There's a upload that Victor shared about feral humans there. I believe they're completely real. What's up, Smiling Wolf? Blades, you know, blades are cool. Blades are really cool. I mean, I got my blade right here. I'm gonna be a Caden real quick. I got my Hubertus right here with me. Beautiful inlay. Pretty neat thing right here. But blades are cool. But I mean, if something's going to jump on you, I'd much rather have a firearm to keep the distance away. You know, if it's on you and you have your blade, you can in the ribs and in the neck and in like prison shank that shit. Good to go. But yeah, 458 SOCOM. I built one actually from the creator of the 45 SOCOM. Tony Ramore sent me a upper that I had to build because I was sponsored by him for a little bit. What's up, John Abbott? How are you? Little off topic, but real quick. You or other fam, best cool town to stay in upstate New York? We are going Lake George. Lake George is the coolest town. It's a tourist attraction. You've got a lot to do, and you're 5 minutes from my house. Lake George, New York is. Look it up, internet, Google it, whatever. We got Six Flags, Adirondacks, beautiful place. Tyler Stevens, I'm drunk, he says. Okay. Tony Ramore. So, my black-eyed kid experience. I want to start off with some info. I'm 24. I'm currently pregnant. My husband is currently in another state because of his dying dad. I live in a happy, family-friendly, and welcoming neighborhood. My experience begins on a chilly night. I drove to my mom's house because it was her birthday. I went at around 6:30 and came back at 9. When I got home, I was craving some junk food, so I went to the local corner store and then came back. When I pulled up into the driveway, it was really weird. I got a weird feeling. I stepped out of the car and went to my door. 2 girls were pounding on my door. As I walked up behind them, I said hello, and they turned around. One looked around 14 and one was 15. She had blonde hair and wore her hair in a messy bun and was wearing a pink summer dress. It was odd because it was winter and freezing out. The other girl looked to be about 9, had darker blonde hair, long curly, and a blue and white plaid shirt with denim shorts. All of a sudden, a sense of fear washed over me. I got really freaked out and ran to my car. At this point, I'm hyperventilating. I was looking down at my shaking hands and heard knocks on the window. Sure enough, the girls were there. But then I realized they had black eyes. The whole eyes were jet black. My heart skipped a beat. The oldest said, "Miss, can you roll your window down?" I'm not sure if those were her exact words because the windows were up and I was reading her lips. I just froze, and the little one said that she was cold and hungry. I did roll my window down just a tiny bit so I could hear them better. The little one repeated about food and being warm, and I shook my head. I said I didn't have any food. The older one changed her expression to angry. She shouted that she wants in, and I turned on the car and drove out of my driveway. This was a while ago, and I stayed parked in the parking lot of a restaurant until the sun came up the next morning and drove home and never saw them again. Yeah, fuck the black-eyed kids. Those little bastards. Do I consider them? I consider black-eyed kids to be well, I've weighed out the options and I thought about what they could possibly be. And they might quite possibly may be demonic. They may be a possession of some sort. They may be alien. I don't know. I know that they scare me and I don't like them. And if I ever came across one and it was knocking at my door, I'd open the door, RKO it, kick its ass out the fucking doorway, and just run and hide. after shutting my door, though. But the motherfucker's getting RKO'd. Why? Because $20 is $20. $20 is $20. That'd be a good idea, Daryl Williams, to throw salt. Like if a black-eyed kid was knocking at your door, right? You go to your kitchen and you get a handful of salt and you open the door quick. And as it's staring at you, like with its black eyes, throw the salt in its black eyes. That'd be cool. Or holy water. Holy water would be good. Craig 57. Craiger 57. Thank you very much. Craiger's just gifted 5 of you all membership. That is very nice, Craiger's. Thank you. Tyler Marshall, how are you tonight? Sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. Aramic, how are you? Zachary, what's up? Yes. And yell, the power of Christ compels you. As you're throwing the salt into their eye, kick them in the chest, and then shut the door. Wait an hour. If it's still out there, pee in a squirt gun and squirt it with your pee water. What's up, Anna? How are you? All right, George. Bleach would be better. Yeah, bleach would be good. Bleach would be good. Or, yeah, some acid. Or if you had liquid acid, you could squirt them in the eye, like squirt like liquid acid in their eye, and then their eyes would get really black and big. Lime Coke. Or, like RH, you could invite Lizzo the Lot Lizard to your house and have Lizzo go and like hang out with the black-eyed kids for a little bit. I'm well, Anna. I'm well. Red Cardinal, how are you this evening? I got my yardstick right here. I was just playing with Tigger with it earlier because I had the sneezes. My cat attacks me when I have sneezes because I don't sneeze like normal people. Like I don't sneeze once or twice. I literally have a sneezing fit. I mean, look at his nose. Of course I do. So I fucking sneeze like 30 times in a row. Tigger will sit outside my studio door waiting for me to open the door so he can attack me because he's done it before multiple times when I sneeze. So this afternoon, I started sneezing and I had to pee at the same time. So I had to use my yardstick to get out of the house or get out of my studio. Hey, Jeff, that first dog, man. Tigger's good. Tigger's kid. Tigger is good. Why? Hey, Jeff, that first dog, man, why? I don't know what you mean, K-Dog. Caden, you need to be careful of black panel vans. I've seen them lurking around those old abandoned hospitals that you go to, my friend. You encountered. Oh, what did it look like? So I've described it before. When we pulled out and when I looked at it, it almost resembled Anubis, I guess, would be the closest thing to a dogman. It it didn't look like your atypical underworld dogman. It had a snout. Its snout stuck out maybe 5 inches, 6 inches. But it was more rounded, you know. Its ears were much bigger, and it wasn't like bulky, like ugh. It was very tall and strong looking, like athletic, you know, like if LeBron James was a dog man, just very, very strong looking. I used to have a dog named Kenny G. No, I didn't communicate. I was in a car, JFA. You probably haven't heard my encounter then. It was in 94. I'll share it later during the upload because I usually share it a lot. Pickwick, yes, Daryl Williams. I have a subscriber that lives on Lake Pickwick. Very, very interesting area. Yep. This isn't a new channel. I know new people are coming to it. The channel's like 7 years old, and I've been researching for 30. So Malachi, how are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. Be good for your parents. Yeah, Dina, but if they are supernatural, that stuff might not hurt them. But it would still be fun to throw salt in a black-eyed kid's eye, I mean, shit, it's still gonna be fun. Yeah, Lake Pickwick is a very interesting place. There's a lot of I've heard of numerous dogman encounters and Bigfoot encounters in that area. Jeff, I thought the key with black-eyed kids, I thought the key was to have them experience was not to enter the home. One of Kumbo Baker's experiences on Pickwick. Not maybe Kumbo, but Donald Coleman Jr. had multiple experiences on Lake Pickwick. I know Kumbo is friends with him. JFA, yes, it is true, 100%. His book is going to be, I'm finishing his book. I just signed a deal at the beginning of, Sunday. I talked to the editor and book company, and the book is going to be out I want to have it out by the beginning of June. So I have 1 month to get it done. That's not the first time I've ever heard. There was a kid. So in the Lake Pickwick area, I had heard this experience from Donald Coleman Jr., who is a former sheriff and he part-time park ranger out there. There had been a couple of kids riding dirt bikes on this trail system out there, almost like a pole line. And they had come off of this smaller kind of offshoot trail. And as they hit the larger trail, they noticed something large come off that trail with them. At first, the kids thought it was a bear until they realized that it was no longer running on all fours and running bipedally after them, keeping up with their dirt bikes. Thank God it didn't get the kids. But they rode for their lives. Krager's 57. Thank you again for gifting 5 people with membership. Yeah, when I said LeBron James, I meant like it was athletic looking, muscular. It was tall, muscular. Basketball players are, athletic. They have to be in shape. it wasn't jacked, but it certainly looked like it could do some fucking damage, you know? Yeah, I am too. I am too, Candy. Yes, ma'am. I don't have any of those pictures that Victor was going to put in his book, John. I have pictures of mine that I have, but I'm not going to. Is your last name pronounced Nadolny? It's Nadolny. Yes, Sonia, I did. Like I said, I've been trained my U.S. experience. Military might smoke Victor's memory because of his nightmares on base. Jeff, you're hitting the woods soon. Kevin, I've been in the woods. I was just there earlier this week. Videos up. I've gone out to where Tom Mezek disappeared 3 times so far. Anna, no, you spelled it out correctly. Nadolny. I'm not afraid of anything because I know what confidence to face. Yeah, confidence is good. I mean, that's definitely something to have, you know. What's up, cowboy? How are you? Yeah, Janie's sick. I miss Janie too. You know, the 458 SOCOM is good, but I'd still much rather have, even though it's almost the same round, I'd still rather have a lever action 4570 just because the coolness factor. I think it'd be so much cooler good night, Robert, so much cooler to take down a Dogman or a charging Bigfoot with a lever action than an AR platform 458. Because then you could just be like, you'd look like, you know, Josie Wales fucking blowing the shit out of a fucking Dogman. That'd be sick. Yeah, DB Mac. He got me on that. Chu Perez, yes. You know, I mean, Tyler, have you ever experienced a Dogman encounter? Have you ever had a Dogman encounter? Eunice, have a good night, dear. Stay well. I'm glad that you were here with us for a little bit. TUI bullets are a must. Absolutely, 100%. Anna Bill, yes. Sasquatch, just as dangerous, Tyler. I think Caden. I think more or less. I mean, I would probably rather experience if the Sasquatch was genuinely pissed off and violent, like filled with blood rage. I would probably rather experience a dog man than a bloodthirsty Bigfoot any day, just because. I don't know. The North American wood ape scares me a little bit. You know, because they're just more intelligent, stronger, and plus it could do dirty things with you. What's up, Paul Vestal? How are you? Two-Way Brooklyn, what's up? How are you? Ethan R., how are you been? Found a paw print wider half that tequila at the bar. Damn. Georgianne, how are you this evening? Paul, I'm glad that you're here with us and communicating with us. Captain Ron, how are you? I'm doing well, Lily Lewis. Yeah, it did. It sounded whoopish, you know? It was a whoopish sound. If you had a time up in front, which would you pick? The opportunity. The opportunity to pick a cryptid for a friend. You know, and it could communicate with me, and it like would communicate with me and not like touch my booter hole. I'd probably okay, so that's a good question. If you had the opportunity of befriending a cryptid, what would it be? So let's pick Dogman, Bigfoot, werewolf, feral human, crawler. I would probably say crawler because of the fact that I would ask them if they had any information on more or less thumbs and if they were created by the government and alien the alien agenda. So I'm Native American too. Tyler, do you have your CDIB? I have my CDIB from the reservation my family's from. That's a must get. You know what else is a must get, guys? This came today. And this book right here, The Ultimate Deception by Commander X. Commander X, as many of you know, I was talking about it last week, is Bill Cooper, Milton William Cooper. And a shocking disclosure: the most sensational governmental conspiracy of our time is finally revealed to the world. by a retired military officer, Bill Cooper, as you know, former Navy intelligence. Steph is still around. He's recouping. Andy Davis, how are you? How's your wife, my friend? Rachel Thompson, how are you? No word on Brad. Brad really kind of. Brad had something. What face? It's more. It's an alien from the alien agenda. Brad had something really fucked up happen to him. Brad was going to come on the show. I can't talk about exactly what happened because he made me promise that I wouldn't. But he was going to come on the show and share an experience with us that he had happen. It wasn't like a crazy experience like what he had happened last time, but it was more or less very interesting. And something happened to where he was scared off. He doesn't even want to be part of the cryptid community anymore. So whatever it was fucked him up real bad. No, Brad is not from Alabama. Brad is the guy that had the experience in Arizona and California with the angel and Dogman. So anyway, the back of this book, I really want to share this with you guys. This book is dedicated to those few brave souls who have risked their very lives to leak the story of the century to the public that has long been kept in the state of blissful ignorance. This conspiracy leads right up to the front gate of the White House and behind the Kremlin walls, and involves the cover-up of an above top secret agreement forged between the military and a group of aliens referred to as EBEs, short for extraterrestrial biological entity. As part of the conspiracy, the government has literally sold out our citizens by extending to the EBE the right to abduct thousands of humans to a plant monitoring devices in our brains in exchange for technical and scientific data. Initially, the authorities believed these short, gray-skinned creatures were friendly, but soon learned that their evolved purpose was genetic duplication and ultimate domination of our globe. To the extent they have seized several high-classified underground laboratories where they have proceeded to develop a form of crossbred super being. And once again, this book, you cannot buy this book new. It was put out in 1990. It's the first printing, special limited edition. Bill Cooper put this book out before Behold the Pale Horse. And when I read, I've only gotten a chance to read a few pages of it. But the few pages that I have read, I know are the missing pages in the Behold the Pale Horse, because the first print of that book was taken down off the shelves. A few people were able to get their hands on it prior to it getting taken off, and pages were taken out of the book and then they put it back up. Very, very fucking cool book. If you guys can get a chance to get it, grab it. What's the book? The Ultimate Deception by Commander X. If you guys can find it and get it. I don't know if that's any better, if you can see it any better. Sorry about the glare, guys. Utah is a beautiful state, so I've heard. Pups told me how beautiful Utah is. I got to get to all these beautiful states. I want to just travel and hit all of the states. But I got to wait until Isabel is 18. If I could move to Montana, that would probably be the one place that I could move to, would be Montana. Jeff, did you hear they found? That 19. No, I have not heard that, Lily. Jacob Hillard, not tonight, my friend. Not tonight. What's up, 5 rings? 5 rings. No, I've already been to Florida, and I'm definitely not going back. I will not go back to Florida. Florida is a state that I visited and lived in for 2 months. I've lived in 3 states: Maine, New York, and Florida. Florida for 2 months, and it was absolutely terrible. I hated it. There was no mountains. It was hot all the time, and fire ants ate my side of my face. So, fuck Florida. Just kidding for all the people from Florida. Florida's probably beautiful in other places, but I lived in the asshole area called Palm Coast, and it was probably the shittiest part of Florida ever. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, Lily. I'm waiting for a response in the email, Jeff. About Dogman verse. I'm still waiting for a response in the email about Dogman verse Werewolf. Karma 777. I don't know. There's times that people send me emails that I don't get them. If I didn't respond with hey, I got this, I'll get back to you, I probably didn't get it. Dogman versus Werewolf. Werewolf would win any day. Werewolves are bigger, smarter, and more agile. I'm Canadian and have my concealed carry in New Hampshire. We cannot get them here. Yeah. Wait, there's only 2 concealed carries in Canada, Captain Ron? No worries, Karma 777. But honestly, if I did get it, I would have been like, hey, can't talk right now, we'll get back to you or something. But yeah, I probably, honestly, if you didn't get that, I didn't get it, and I apologize. So for some reason, people send me emails and they're like, hey, did you get my email? And I'm like, no, I didn't. But I will tell you this, check out this email that I got. So last week on the live stream, hang on really quick, I'll finish that. Only 2. So only 2 people in all of Canada have concealed carry. Huh. Gina, I'm doing well. Thank you for joining us. So check this out. You know the email, not Proton email, but you know the anonymous email where you can't respond. There's like an anonymous email, I guess. So like you can send and someone can't respond to you. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's not the Proton one that protects you and you can communicate. What's up, Derek Bailey? How are you? But there's this email. It's called like anonymous email. And so I get this email right after the live stream, right? And it's like anonymous.com or something. Thanks, Karma. And so I get this email, right? And it says, you are a FAG. Your theories and ideas suck. A whole bunch of just like crazy bullcrap, right? And just like whatever, like calling me a bunch of names. And then so I go to respond, right? I go to respond and I can't respond because this person is such a coward that they used anonymousemail.com or whatever it is. So they can respond, they can comment to me, they can say stuff to me, but I can't respond to them. And I'm like, and I'm the Sally and I'm the sissy. Like, I'll give you my address. You can come to my house. We'll fight out in my front yard, you fucking douchebag. What's up, Carla? Dude, it was just douchey. Like, first of all, who uses the word anymore? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know. People are babies, you know? What's up, Alan Owl? How are you? A douche canoe. You know it. I think, Joe, I think that was part of the, that was something that I had said, like ballless wonder or something. I'd RKO him. I'd RKO him and have, like, I don't know, all of you guys come to my house, cook you dinner quick, and have you RKO him right back too. Bobby Schultz, yeah. I'll be like, let me take you to the gifting stone, baby. Let me give you the old Jewish saxophone. I wouldn't break anything, Jay Cortez. Caden. Caden, you are freaking awesome. All right, guys. Dogman, Black-Eyed Kids. How about a crawler? Let's do a crawler experience. Okay. I saw something many years ago that matches what is being described as a crawler. I'll try and keep this brief. The time was the mid 80s. The location was on an island in Greer's Ferry Lake, Arkansas, called Sugarloaf. It's a hilltop that sticks out of the lake. There is a trail that you can follow up the south side of the hill to the top. I was with my girlfriend. I had a boat, and we had gone to the island to climb up and see the scenic view. We climbed to the top and looked around and started down. It was sunset, but not dark. Visibility was pretty good. As we walked down the trail, we began to hear something pacing us through the woods. It sounded like it was 100 to 150 feet off the trail, and it sounded like someone walking through dead leaves and brush. We couldn't see what it was, but could tell by the sound that it was pretty much where it was. Didn't think much of it until we stopped for a second and noticed that it had stopped as well. When we started walking again, we heard it moving again, so it felt like we were being stalked. We tested it a few more times by stopping, then starting. It matched our movements every time. So in my mind, I felt like it was probably someone hiking or camping on the island, and they were trying to have fun with us. After descending most of the way down to the shore, I was getting pissed off about it because it had started to feel a little creepy. I told my girlfriend that I was going to try and see who it was and started off the path toward where the noise was coming from. I noticed for the first time since hearing it that it was no longer matching our movements. I couldn't hear any movement but my own. I walked 100 feet off the path and felt like I probably was close to where I last heard its movement. This was pretty thick woods. I stopped and looked around, not seeing anything. Then, about 30 feet from me, I saw a figure run behind a tree. It looked to be about 7 feet tall. It was extremely thin, humanoid shape. I would call it almost skeletal. Think of a very tall, long limbed skeleton wrapped with very white skin, and that's a pretty good description. It was running away from me, and I did not see its face. No clothes, just very white skin. It was moving incredibly fast and disappeared into the woods in seconds. It was running upright, no crawling observed. I was stunned at the sight of it. I remember thinking, that can't be right, over and over again. It was just very, very unnatural. I wanted to run, but couldn't even lift my legs to turn around. I was physically unable to take a step for 30 seconds or so, paralyzed with fear or shock. Finally, I was able to start back onto the path and rejoin my girlfriend. We got back to the path, to the boat, and got out of there. And that's it. Not much more to tell. It was the strangest thing that I had ever experienced. I told friends about the incident, but quit doing that a long time because nobody believes me. I can't say that I blame them. If someone told me that experience, I doubt I'd believe it too. You guys want to say hi to Tiggy? Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hey, buddy. There's Buddy. Hey. Oh, you're a good boy, huh? Hey. There he is, the Dogman fam mascot. He's a good boy, huh? He's a good boy. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, all right. I don't know. Can you guys hear him purring? He's purring up a storm. Good boy. You good boy. You good boy. Ooh. All right. Yeah, he's a big boy. He's my buddy. This is a pretty cool experience. I've never heard of an experience like this. He's literally my best friend. What's up, Giant Slayer? How are you? Do Dogman run from werewolves if they cross? No. They will fight. They will fight. And I like I said earlier, werewolves will normally win. Probably 80% of the time. Thanks, Gina. I appreciate that. Two-way. What I didn't get your first thing that you said. Oh, okay. I will. Can dogmen jump high? They can jump far. So I'd imagine high, yeah. Thanks, Lizzie. How are you tonight, Liz? Enter him in the cat calendar 17th. What is it? July 17th, cat? Okay, so Cynthial, if I said your name, I definitely will. I'll tell you next week, okay, two-way, because I'm not going to want to do it now. Okay, so Cynthia Colley wanted to know the difference between a dog man and a werewolf. On this channel specifically, because of a person that I had on the channel named Victor, dog men have hawked legs and have a long pointed snout like a wolf, German shepherd, cropped ears on the top, furry, very furry, but the hawked legs with a tail. Werewolf have more of a human-like leg, a very shorter muzzle, but still a muzzle, cropped ears, a little bigger in stature, and more intelligent. That's the difference. Georgianne, yes, he's a Maine Coon cat. Yep. Like the Lon Chaney kind, yes. There has been K-Dog. That's something that, that's something interesting that I've always wondered about. So there's about 6 or 7 different dogman encounters that have claimed to have worn clothes. The Ohio one that was, I forget the exact city in Ohio, but it was by a train station. And Linda Godfrey had 1 or 2 where they wore clothes. And I've often wondered what that was about, because Native Americans, the majority of all Native American tribes have their own version of a shapeshifter. Not all shapeshifters throughout our country or America are skinwalkers. Navajo, their legend of the skinwalker or the Yenadalushi is Navajo. But like the Ojibwe, the Cherokee, the Mohawk, the Cree, they all have their own version of a shapeshifter. So I often wondered if that was what people saw when they had clothes on. But other than that, no, I don't know. Hi, Isabel. Mike Turner, how are you? Long time no see. What's going on? I wouldn't know bite pressure or anything like that. Werewolves would have the height advantage by, there's like a, hang on a second. So somewhere around 1.5 feet big or dog man to werewolf would vary in height. Werewolf is always going to be bigger than a dog man. But as for, bye buddy, have a good night, see you later, talk to you later, make your food later. As far as that, I don't know, Karma. I'm not a scientist and I've never had one in my basement to dissect. If I do someday, I'll let y'all know. Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate that. I'm getting a little fluffy in my old age. I cannot believe I'm going to be 50 in 2 more years. Bye, buddy. What's up? Definitely a higher level of intelligence, 100%. Yeah, I'm going to be 48 this year. On September 16th, I'm going to be 48. No, they never created them. Dogman and Bigfoot and werewolf were never created by the government. They were chipped and used. I can hear Tigger right now. He's pissed off because he got off my lap. He's out on his scratching post, ripping the shit out of it. When I was up north on the 8th, on the Eclipse day, Monday, when I got off trail, when I started to climb up that face there, I really felt it the next day. My legs were hurting. My legs were just like, I was like, fuck, man. I am hurting like a mother. Supposedly, werewolves are able to speak. Supposedly. But though all your karma, all your answers that you're asking right now could be answered if you listen to the playlist of victors. Happy birthday, Andy Davis. I did forget to. I'm so sorry. I really apologize, my friend. Everyone, Andy Davis's birthday was the 8th, and I forgot to wish him a happy birthday. Jeff, you do know I'm already 48. Caden, I did not know you were 48. I thought you were like in your late 20s. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that, Beretta. Ooh, I hear people talking. Little teenage kids started trucking that way. The old Jeffy N strikes again with the Jewish saxophone, playing You Belong to the City. I hope so, 59th. I hope so. Yeah, the Ovulus was fun, wasn't it? Oh, Lily, thanks. Appreciate that. Oh, Zachary. Zachary got gifted a membership by Lily. That's super nice. Beretta. Anybody remember 2009? Vaguely. Yeah, it was 2 years after Isabel was born. I think I moved to Florida that year. So, yeah, it was a pretty shitty year for me. What's up, Ginger? What are the clear predator things? People call them Glitter Man. I'm not sure exactly what they are. What's up, GG? But I think Glitter Man fits well. I think those were more or less created like I believe the crawler. I think they were created by the government or alien agenda. I can see your comments, Truth Quest. Yeah, I moved to Florida in 2009. You're welcome, Truth Quest. GG! Tyndall. I actually was talking about Roanoke the other week. And there's a very interesting dogman experience that happened there. I'd like to hear about your inorganic entity if you would send that to me. But yeah, there's a lot of cryptid stuff that have happened in Roanoke, Virginia, to be honest with you. Rogue Volunteer, how are you, my friend? Florida is a strange state. I mean, they have their own man. Florida man. 365 pages, cat a day calendar, Google it. Cat, I bet they might. You know, Cat, I'm going to do that. Google cat page a day calendar. All right, I'm going to do that later tonight. I just don't like what video was that? Oh shit. God, it was last week. Tyndall. I apologize. I don't remember. I'm going to think about it because it actually was an upload that I was working on. I was just sitting in front of the computer recording, and I was going to do something, and I was talking about dogmen, and then I jumped to Roanoke, and it was more or less something about the Great Dismal Swamp. Fuck. Look up somewhere April 1st, from April 1st to the 6th would be the day. April 1st to the 6th. Thank you, Lily. But I had a good time doing that upload because it was rather interesting. What part of Florida do you live in? I lived in Palm Coast, Mike Turner. Palm Coast. You're welcome. You're welcome, Tyndall. I lived in Palm Coast, and I didn't like it because, one, I'm from New York, and we have mountains. Like I look north, and there's mountains, and I like a cold breeze. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a hot, humid day, and I walk outside at night, I like to have that cold breeze go up my shorts. Ohio Hurricane, thank you so much, my friend. And I don't like fire ants. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a scar right here where fire ants bit my neck when I fell asleep drunk on a towel sun tanning. And I did not like that. I woke up, I'm like, there's pain. And they're biting me. They were like fucking hanging off my, No, there's not. I didn't know if there's not a lot of woods in that area. So I wouldn't imagine. Yeah, flamethrowers for fire ants. Definitely 100%. What's up, Truth in the background? How are you? Yeah, just not in Palm Coast area. That's why I like the cold wind. I like it. It just goes right up and addresses the old sack issue. What's up, Brian Riaz? How are you tonight? I did go to like Marine Land. That was pretty cool. Georgia has piss ants, army ants, and regular ants. Uh, yeah, I don't like monkeys either. Monkeys suck. Monkeys are just, I don't like monkeys. I don't think they're cute. They're fucking mean, nasty little pricks. Yeah, monkeys creep me out. They're little assholes too. They throw shit at you. Like, why are you gonna throw shit at me? Like, come over here so I can crush your head. I'm doing well, Truth. I'm doing well. Um, get off in it. Get off in it. What's up from the Philippines? How are you? Thank you for joining us. Cebu, Philippines. Wow, cool. No, my ex-wife's family lived there and we went there. It sucked. Her family sucked. She sucked. It was just a bad experience all the way around. The kids hated it. We all hated it except her. Raccoons? I don't know. I think I'd rather deal with a raccoon than a monkey. Much more. I would much rather deal with a raccoon than a monkey. I would pay to see a raccoon fight a monkey or a possum. Ooh, a possum. If a possum bit a monkey right in the dick, that'd be good. Yeah, two-way. Yup. Flamethrowers. Yeah, that was with DJ from Virginia, Taswell. All right, so this one's pretty interesting. I'm from Australia. I'm 22 years old. The reason I decided to share this encounter is because I have done countless amounts of research on the internet trying to find what I think I saw when I was 9 years old. Pretty sure I was 9. I think it may have been an alien. I thought it was a ghost or something, but the more I think about it, the more likely I think it's an alien. So I was lying in my bed in my house, which at the time was our holiday house, but we are now living there permanently. So I was lying in bed. My sister was lying on the other side of the room, sleeping. I woke up in the middle of the night to a humming, like a that kind of thing. I woke up and thought it was my sister, and then I started feeling scared. Like I was just scared. I hadn't seen anything. I could just hear this humming, and I don't know, maybe it was 10 minutes of it. It was hot and sweaty because I was scared. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. I wanted to turn around to see if anyone was there. Anyway, after an amount of time, I got up. Whatever it was, the strength and, I don't know, the courage to turn around, and I saw this thing standing at the end of my bed. I only looked at it so quick that I turned my head back straight away, and it was kind of like this hand drawn sketch, this shape. Um, it was like going like this, looking around, seeing this, and turning around and falling back to sleep somehow. I can't remember what happened after that. Maybe waking up an hour later, there was nothing there. I ran to my sister's bed. I believe my feet didn't even touch the ground. I jumped into her bed and slept with her for the rest of the night. I woke up the next morning and told her, and she was freaked out. I hadn't seen anything like it since. So basically, I've never seen anything like it before. I swear to God, I definitely saw it. The main thing I looked for the next day was there was a coat hanger on my door because I had always called it the main thing I looked for the next day was to see if there was a coat hanger on the door, because I always called it a hammerhead, because you can see it looked very similar to a hammerhead. I mean, maybe it was my imagination. I don't know. But whatever it was there. It was not in my head. And then she drew this kind of weird sketch, but basically it looked like a hammerhead fish. Kevin, what's going on? James Smith, Salty Army, how are you tonight? Sharknado. Monkeys or chimps throw shit at the zoo. Bigfoot dog man. I would pay money to watch like a dog man bite a monkey in the head. Do something diff. What's going on? How are you tonight? Thanks for joining us. You're right. Better late than never. But you know what? At least you're here, right? That's all that matters. Sherry Strong, how are you tonight? Sorry, I missed you. All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. I was talking to one of my really good friends a while back in 2006, and we had just somehow ended up talking about weird stuff we had seen in our lives. He brings up an experience of how one of our friends and her friends had a scary encounter. They were walking through a neighborhood at night and just ended up at a park outside of Green Valley Forest Preserve in Naperville, Illinois, which is a very big forest. So they're walking towards the park when they see what they thought was a tall person on top of the swing set. So they stop and wonder who would be standing on a swing set at 10 p.m. alone at night. So they get closer and the creature turns around. It was a hairy creature with bright orange eyes standing upright at around 8 feet tall. It looked at them for about 5 seconds, then jumped straight down without making a sound and sprinted away. They got scared and ran back to their car and went home. As soon as one of them got home, she was sitting in her house when the banging started on her house. She then called one of her friends, telling him to stop. He told her that it was not him. He said that he's at home and the same thing just happened. They never saw the creature again. There had been a few more sightings by people who say they'll wake up early in the morning and see this creature watching them when they are outside. Everyone who sees it describes it as a werewolf. So here's my experience. Myself and a couple of my friends went to that same forest preserve at night just to hang out and have a couple of beers. We heard about the experience a couple of times, but thought they were just pulling our chain. But we were there for about an hour. We finished our beer and decided to leave. Well, my friend went to relieve himself near the edge of the woods. We said we'd wait for him, so he finishes up and walks back to us. And we're just walking back to our car in a normal conversation. He's not saying anything, though. We just ask him, "Why are you so quiet?" He just told us to hurry up. Let's move fast to the car. I said, "What's going on with you?" So we get into the car and he seems to be fine, like all is forgotten. I saw him every day after that and everything was normal. Then a while later, we were sitting in a restaurant eating, and I brought up the park that night and told him we should all go again. And he flat out told me when we were doing our business at the edge of the woods, he saw two glowing orange eyes looking at him from 20 feet away and getting closer. He didn't see the creature due to the fact that it was pitch black and it was coming from the woods, but he saw the eyes were getting closer and he was scared. He told me he didn't tell us that night because he didn't want to scare us and thought we wouldn't believe him anyway. After these many years, I wonder how many other people have seen this creature at that forest preserve. What's up, Brian Cook? How are you? Hey, Neck, you ever heard of that forest preserve out in Illinois? Well, Caden made a video that said he was in California anyway. Brian Cook is in the house. You guys ever heard of snuff? You guys ever heard of this stuff? Yes, Carl, I'll put my email in. Do some, he says. I'll do some in a minute. All right, my email is right under Rockin' Steady and right above Candy. All right. So you take a little bit off like this. Take a little pinch. Whoa! Oh, all right. Joshua Irate. If you go to I ordered mine from England and he went Popeye. Yeah, I did 59th. Holy shit. If you guys ever want to order some, I got mine from this company called MrSnuff.com. Truth Quest, send me an email and I will send you my address. That's not how you do it. Well, that's how my grandfather has done it for before he passed away. He takes a pinch and puts it like that. And anybody that I've ever seen do it, that's how they do it too. Yeah, sometimes you can. I know that's not how you do it. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to boof it? Should I put it up my butthole? No. This is not dip. Snuff is different than dip. No, it's not dip. It's not chew, guys. It's a very fine, dry powder. No, John Bartfield. It's do you see the size of the tin? It's tiny. It's not chew. It's dry. Look it up. It's snuff. It's not Copenhagen. It's not Kodiak. It's literally so This lot lizard story someone taught me was someone told me this lot lizard story the other day. And yeah, well, you can chew chewing tobacco, but snuff it's a dry powder. Um, it's just this powder tobacco with like fragrance to it. Anyway, this guy reached out to me and said, Jeff, I listen to your channel all the time, but I'm afraid to comment because I myself had a lot lizard experience. And I said, what? I said, can you tell me your story? And he said, Jeff, I will tell you my lot lizard experience. And I said, okay, let's hear it. So he's a truck driver, long haul truck driver. So he usually travels from like out from New Jersey. Sometimes he has to drive all the way to California. So he gets a little lonely sometimes, but he tries to resist the urges. So he said one night he had been driving. He drove his extended amount of time, which was somewhere like, I think it's like 18 hours or whatever. And he stopped and he needed a break. He had to sleep and stay. He couldn't start his truck for an extended period of time. So he slept in, went inside this little gas station restaurant area and had breakfast, went back to sleep. So when he woke up, it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Still a little bright out. And he gets out of his truck, stretches, kind of shakes a little, get the kinks out of his back. And he realizes, he's like, I got to pee real bad. And he sees that the restaurant / gas station part is closed due to cleaning. But they have a bathroom that's attached to the building, but separate from the inside of the building. So he starts walking to the bathroom and he sees these 3 girls walking around, and they are in these like leather skirts, like tube top leather skirt shit, 1980s streetwalker material. And that's another thing. It's like 1988. So they got tube tops and leather skirts and big old fuck me pumps on. And they're walking around just, hey baby, you want some love? $20 is $20. And he's like, no, I'm good tonight, dear. Da, 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 da. I gotta go piss here real quick. Have a good night. So he goes in the bathroom and he starts to pee and he realizes, like, oh my God, as he's peeing, he's like, I gotta shit. So he pinches off his head and he turns around and sits down and fucking starts peeing as he's sitting again. And as he's taking his dump, he hears the bathroom door open. And he hears click, 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 the old fuck me pumps on the tile floor. And he's kind of like, what the fuck? He knows there's a ladies' bathroom. And he goes, hey, that's occupied there, dear. And he doesn't hear anything back. So he's sitting there and he's taking a steamer, and it's real bad. It's like a 2-flush dumper. So he flushes the first time and he doesn't hear any walking anymore, but he hears some like kind of strange noise. And he's just sitting there and he's like kind of trying to peek through the door and under the stall, but he doesn't see anything. But he can hear like this, like almost breathing. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So he finally gets done and he goes to wipe his ass. So he's, kind of cocked over to the side. As he's cocked, he hears this kind of like that, right? And he's like, and he looks up and it's one of the girls that he saw out in the truck stop. But she's on top of the ceiling looking down at him. So she's like bent this way and her head's down. And she's got these like reptilian like eyes. And this long forked tongue keeps flickering at him, right? And she looks right at him and he looks at her and he quick picks his pants up and he starts to run out the stall, but he slips because the floor is wet and a little, and so he slips and lands on his back, and all of a sudden the fucking thing jumps down on him, lands on him, and starts licking his face and neck. And she goes, $20 is $20. And that's the scariest lot lizard story I have for you today. That's what he thought when that flick of the tongue was out there. It was like, she's a keeper. I would have paid her $50 to get her off of me. Oh, Jacob's Ladder girl. Oh my God. Because your reaction. John, have a good night. Thanks for joining us, brother. Yeah, you definitely got to put a ring on it. You know where I got the idea for that story? Because I was like, I got to come up with a good lot lizard story for y'all. There was an old video on YouTube, probably 8 years ago, and this little girl had gone into the bathroom stall at like her local park or whatever, and she had caught the video of this girl like on the ceiling. And as she's walking in, she had her phone like this, she's walking in, and she caught it. It was on the ceiling, and I get like it dropped down, and she took off running. Do you guys remember that? It was a while ago. Billy Corgan had an experience, but I've never heard of what his experience is. What? Okay, what? Someone's talking about Billy Corgan, and Billy Corgan. K-Dog, the lot lizard stories. A lot lizard is a prostitute that's at truck stops. So every Saturday I make up a crazy lot lizard story. So yeah, it's a creepy pasta. But it's just for fun. The video that I was talking about was actually a video the little girl took, and it was on YouTube for a while. What's up, Cookie Keebler? How are you? That's what it was? Okay, so he saw the eye shift. Okay. Was that in one of his books or something? Where is Wilburn? Wilburn! He told it on Howard Stern. Okay. I always thought he never told that whole story. Wasn't there like more to it or something? Cookie Keebler, you were 2 hours into the live stream, so there was a lot of scary stuff that I had shared. You're 2 hours late. I shared a bunch of stuff already. I'm still going to share more stuff, but okay, wait. Jimi Hendrix saw Mothman. I wouldn't doubt that, but the Billy Corgan thing, Larry Lindman. Holy shit! Thank you, brother. That's what I think it was. That's what I think it was. So Larry brings up a good subject right there. I went back and listened to all of Victor's uploads, and I believe him. I think he overstepped in what he was allowed to share, perhaps atoned for his past civilians who he got hurt and fucked by the government. Just my 2 cents. Larry Lindman, 100%. Thank you for the love. But yes, I've often thought that because if you guys remember, the guys that have been with the channel for a while now, like 2.5, 3 years ago, was when he came back on and we talked, and he's like, I'm feeling great, guys. I'm back in Colorado, yada, yada, and this and that. And then he was going to come and share that night. After that, his kidneys, he didn't contact me. And then his son contacted me and said, something's wrong with my dad. His kidneys are failing, this and that. And I really think that the government poisoned him because of what he shared on the channel. Because it was like a year after he got his book taken down. Because if you go to Amazon, if you go into Amazon right now and you type in, you go to your Amazon page and you type in Victor Johnson, it'll come up Victor Johnson Dogman book, Victor Johnson Cryptid Hunter book, Cryptid Dogman author, Cryptid book. If you type that in, it pops up. The book was going to come out. And yeah, he was, no, Zachary, that's what I'm saying. He was poisoned. He was poisoned. And that's why his kidneys stopped. Like, he just was done. Sherry Strong, I don't know where you got that from. No, he didn't hang himself. No. Nope. He did, and it was, he didn't tell me what it was. But if you go to Amazon right now and type in Victor Johnson, the first two things that show up underneath the search bar is Cryptid Book, Dogman Hunter, this, and that. Tyler Steven, you're 5'8"? I would have thought you were like 6'1" the way you were talking. I would have thought you were my height. Just in case, how are you, brother? No, I'm not. How do you spell his name? Victor Johnson. VictorJohnson. But you know what's crazy is when you get older, you start to shrink, I heard. Dogman Junkie, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that, Dogman Junkie 1989. That was a good year. 1989 was a good year. Well, not in that way, Firehorse, like tall-wise. Oh, shit. So check this out. Remember that I'm on the testosterone replacement program? And I got tested 2 weeks ago and they said my testosterone was 16. I got tested this week and I've only gotten 2 shots and my testosterone was 421. 421. It gained 400 and something points. I'm like, hit me with another one. Yes. There you are, Tommy. How are you? I know it's good. I was happy. Not 420, 421. Yes, Daryl Williams. And it's been a long time since that has happened. I almost feel reverberated or whatever the word is. Reverberated? Reverberated. Would that be it? Yeah, just like this. I'm 5'3", short too. But I'm 5'3", short too. I thought you were going to put 5'3", too short. Rejuvenated. There we go. Thank you, RH. I was 20 and 88. Damn, I was 12. See, and Tyler, that's why I thought you were like 6'4", 6'5". You got like everything going for you, bro. I only wish I had half of what you have going on. Why didn't the hunters saved by the angel ask where Dogman came from? Because more than likely, the way Brad talked about it, he didn't have much time to talk. Like that whole story was the way he said it is the way it went down. So like he had X amount of time with it. Plus, imagine watching something like that happen. Are you going to be like, hey, where do they come from? I mean, I wouldn't. Just in case, did I get your email? Did you just send it? What's up, you drunk ant? How are you? About a week ago. Let me check, because let me check. Ooh, I got one email from a sub too just now. Hang on. Let me check my starred thing. Starred. Yes, I did. And I apologize for not responding saying, hey, I did get it. Yes, I did. And I put you in the starred thing. So I do have it right here. It was just a busy week. You sent it April 4th. So yeah, I did. Sorry I didn't respond and say, hey, I got it. I got to go through them. I go through them. I'll go through it on Sunday, tomorrow. I seen a few. Victor shared a few photos with me. Thanks, Dogman. Victor shared a few photos with me, and I think that's a big reason why what happened to him happened to him. Did you guys hear Jeff shush himself up where Mezek disappeared? I did shush myself up. I was like, shh. I was 22. Other than he had passed, yes. No, do something diff. No. My sister is an Amazon. She is 6'3" or 6'4". Holy shit. Dude, does she have a tiny boyfriend, like a small short guy that climbs up on top of her? My daughter, my oldest daughter, Abby, is 6'1". So she is just as tall as I am. So like when I go out, when she's with me and we're like and I'm talking to her, I'm like literally leveled eye with her, but she's taller than other guys. It's pretty funny. Her boyfriend's actually like 6'3". So she found a guy that was taller than her. But yeah, she's 6'1" and like 120 pounds. Her mom's only 5'3". Good night, Donna Harmon. Have a good night. She's 19. My daughter is 6 foot and I'm 5'4". Isn't that weird? Like 5'4", her mom's 5'6" or 5'3", and she's 6'1". Yep, she did. She was actually her basketball team won the AAU ball, the state championship when they were in ninth grade. That's where we met Mariska Hargitay down in the city. Was when we were in the States playing. She was playing. Damn, Beretta, 5 or 6'3" and 14. Holy shit. Ugh. Yeah. People lose it because they're back or something. Like, I heard that if you go to the chiropractor for a period of time, that it can, if you lost like how you stand or whatever, will straighten your back and you'll get that height back. That's funny, Joshua Irate. That's fucking great, dude. The Sonny and Cher thing. Maybe Firehorse. I don't know. You could always start your own channel and do it how you want. Considering I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 already. I think it's RHA. Zach. This happened when I was 14 years old. See, I had one in my hand, Fire Horse, but you always got to be a little jerk all the time. And I'm just kidding, Fire Horse. This happened when I was 14 years old. My family lived on a farm surrounded by open fields that were dotted here and there with heavily wooded areas. I used to love to go out with my dog on the grounds of the farm while my dad and granddad worked with the livestock and machinery, in and out of various outbuildings that we had there. We had a nice neighbor renting one of our converted cottages on the site, and it was in his yard that I witnessed something that I will never forget. A bit of context. There was a lot of natural and rustic beauty around where my parents' farm was, and healthy population of wild animals: rabbit, hare, fox, deer, badger. It was always truly a magical place to someone who started out growing up in the city. Anyway, to the main account of what I saw. I was busy attaching my dog's lead to his harness on the road leading around to the front of the house, past my neighbor's house and into the open fields once over the cattle grid. Our neighbor was away for the weekend to see friends, and I always did a courtesy check on his place while he went away. Just moving mail out of the rain, checking that things looked okay, making sure the gates were latched and such. I got around the corner and my blood turned to ice. It was one of those feelings that is the most primal, deepest fear that oozes straight from your soul. In my neighbor's woodshed was an animal, a creature, a being that I had no recognition of. It was very thin, with unnaturally long arms and legs, almost like a deer body, compact, limbs long and bony. It was rifling around the stack of wood my neighbor had drying out in the shed from a tree that had recently fell. The being was almost a frog-like texture with bulbous, unsettling eyes, a pinched mouth with barely any lips, a bloated pot of a stomach, but a clear and agile build. It was making these snuffing grunts like busy noises. It was picking up bits of wood and sniffing at them, and seemingly perplexed by the clunk of wood when it dropped it back onto the pile. My dog was as still as I was. He was a German pointer, so I used to seeing him make that firm hunting pose. But he was eerily rigid and his hackles were already up. My dog eventually let out one of his gruff half barks that he usually made when curious or startled by something. At the sound, and being absolutely buckled like it had the shock of its life, it scrambled around like a big sloppy spider with its arms and legs grasping for balance. It glanced up at us only briefly, made what I could only describe as a gurgly vomit like sound, and bounded away effortlessly over a fence. Hardly any effort, and it was able to clear quite an expansive fence without coming close to the barbed wire. It ran like a dog with long front legs and short back legs, almost like a greyhound would. It took me a long time to go for a walk confidently again. I don't even know what you would call this thing. It didn't look like anything. It didn't seem to want anything. And other than being terrified by my encounter, I didn't feel like I was in danger. But it was a cryptid in every sense of the word. And to this day, I am not even going to speculate about what it was. But I know I saw something I shouldn't have that day. What was interesting in the great scheme of things was that there was another farmer who lived a few fields over from us, who was always being ridiculed for believing in UFOs and strange beings and things. You'd often hear him spouting off at the pub about green aliens and what have you. But after witnessing this, whatever it was, it always made me wonder if I had seen something too. Well, I would say definitely something. I don't know. It almost had human like. I'd say crawler. Good night, George. Have a good night. You old coker. Ohio, have a good night. Lunatic fringe. Dane, have a good night, guys. Yeah, it sounded like a crawler, I would say. Good night, Sharon. How about you, Firehorse? What do you think? Did it sound like a crawler? Crawler, yeah. I don't know if, 59th may know if they make VCRs. They probably do still. I have 33 VCRs. I got one, Nicole. I got one. And I noticed it when I was just looking up just in cases, to be honest with you. And I put it in my starred thing. I've really looked for giant spider stories, but I've only been able to find one or two. Did you? Yes, I got. That's right. You did send me one tonight. Yes, I got that. You sent me at 12:17. 12:17. I got yours tonight. Yes. My parents still have their Laserdisc player. Does any of you guys remember those? This is my new thing, he says. They have the video still. We had Monster Squad on Laserdisc, a Chuck Norris movie, Monster Squad, a Chuck Norris movie, Goonies. And I think that Jodie Foster movie. What the fuck was it? Gremlins. Oh, I wish I had Gremlins. Oh, Duran Duran Laserdisc. Oh, is it a concert? What you mean? No, not the Silence of the Lambs. The one where she's in the bar. I forget which one. No, it was when she was in a bar. My white friend had Saturday Night Fever on Laserdisc. This is 77. His name was Bobby Brown. Yes, dude. Fuck yeah, do something deaf. That's funny as shit. The Accused. That's what it was. Thank you. Thank you, Rich. Down at Fraggle Rock. Cast your cares away. Worries for another day. Let your music play. Down at Fraggle Rock. Down at Fraggle Rock. Yeah, Dane. Chuck Norris's Tears Cure Cancer too. Dude, I bought his water. You guys remember when I bought that water? the Chuck Norris water. And it says that. It literally says his tears cure cancer and something else on his water bottles. The snorks. Oh my God. Those were those little things that had the fucking dicks on their head that went the wrong way. Buddy. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, what? Buddy. Want to say hi to everybody? Huh? Come here. Come here. Whoa. What? Come here. Oh, say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Say hi, guys. Say I came back for a second trip. Oh, you go boy. You go boy. Huh? Say hi to everybody. Look. Hey. Look, they're over here. Say, hey, guys, what's up? What's up? Look at my face. Look at my face. Duran Duran was awesome. Duran Duran, Depeche Mode was great. He weighs 42 pounds. Hey, you guys! What, buddy? What? There you go, boy. I think he's getting tired. He's getting pissed that I'm not in bed yet. All right. I've had 2 encounters with black-eyed kids. The first time was 2 years ago in a gas station parking lot off of Highway 58 in Tennessee at like 2 in the morning. My friend had parked toward the far end of the lot around the side of the building. I was sitting in the passenger side of my buddy's car, waiting for him to come out of the store from buying cigarettes. I was fairly relaxed listening to the radio when I heard a knock on the window. I looked over and there was a boy. He looked to be about 12. He was wearing a gray hoodie with his hood pulled up. I cracked the window and asked him what he wanted, and he responded with a, "Can I borrow your phone?" I wasn't going to let some strange kid use my phone, so I told him that I was sure they had one inside the store. He kept insisting on it, though. And it was the weirdest thing because the longer he stood there, the more unsettled and scared I started to feel. I had rolled up the window by this point, and he became something less than aggressive, but more than insistent. That's when I saw his eyes. His hood slipped back because of his movements. And the only way I can describe the feeling of the look in those eyes was primal fear. That's about the time he quickly moved to the nearby tree line. And a few seconds later, my friend got in the car. He said I was pale as a ghost and asked me what was wrong. At the time, I had no idea what the hell that was at all about and had trouble describing it. He looked at me strangely and said he didn't see any kid at all. That really got to me. When I got home, I couldn't sleep, and I found out exactly what I had encountered. The second experience happened shortly after my roommate and my house. This was about 3.5 weeks ago. I'm a night owl, so I'm up pretty ridiculous times of the night a lot of the time. It was maybe 3:30 in the morning, yet again watching YouTube videos, when I heard a knock on the front door. I would have normally just avoided the knock on the front door at that time of the night, but my roommate's girlfriend had left only about 20 minutes prior, so I assumed it was her having forgot something. It wouldn't have been the first time. So I went to the door and cracked it a bit to look outside, and there were 3 kids. One looked to be around 16. It was a girl. The other 2 were little boys, maybe 6 and 10, respectively. They wouldn't look directly at me and held their heads at a downward angle. The porch light cast a pretty heavy shadow over their features, so what they were was again obscured. I hadn't forgotten about my previous encounter, but I didn't know any of the neighborhood yet and couldn't assume black-eyed kids when it could have been desperation standing at my doorstep. I opened the door a bit more, and before I could ask who they were and what they needed, the little girl said, "Can I come in and use your phone?" I told her that I would fetch it for her and let her use it, but again, she asked to come inside. It was as if I hadn't said anything at all, and her insistence grew, just like last time. She stepped from the front walk to the bottom step of my stoop and looked up at me. I saw those eyes again, slammed the door, and went back to the living room a good distance away from the front door. I heard a few more knocks over the following few minutes, growing more aggressive with each volley until they stopped. I didn't dare get close to the door or windows again until sunrise. I've since installed security cameras around the perimeter of the house, and if they do come back, I will gladly share some footage. So there you have it. Those are the 2 times that I've experienced a black-eyed kid. I have one cat. She's obsessed. Tigger's literally, Caden, Tigger's sitting here staring up at me like this. Hi, buddy. Oh, what? What? Yeah, you good boy? You good boy. Yeah, that's all he wants. Firehorse, that's exactly all he wants is fucking attention. He's still like staring at me like this. What, buddy? Pretty much. Pretty much. Speaking of cars, I've got to take my dad's truck out of the garage for the spring and summer. My dad's got a 1971. It's mine. 1971 Chevy K20 pickup truck. 3 on the tree, all restored, fully foamed frame. When he restored it, he put a 350 crate engine in it and rebuilt the transmission. It's got steel gears in it. So because it's got the 350, which is cammed, it's a cammed 350, and it's only a 3-speed. When it goes, it's like you hear the gears just zzz, zzz, zzz. Do something. If you can find a Subaru, I find a Subaru. They will last you forever. What Subaru is the best? I've always been partial to Foresters because I've had 1, 2, 3. I've had 4 Foresters my entire life. I have the Forester Wilderness right now, which I do like. I wish it had more horsepower though. If you could find like my dream Subaru would be a 1995 Subaru Impreza Gravel Express. If I could find a Subaru Impreza Gravel Express, I'd be in heaven. But if you could find like an Outback, that would be awesome. Outbacks are great. Yeah, BRZs are slow as hell. That's because it's got a Toyota engine in it, Puma Pete. I actually raced a BRZ probably like 2 weeks ago in my Forester and knocked the doors off the fucking thing. look on I would do something. I would look online like Facebook Marketplace and type in like Subaru, and it'll give you like a list of Subarus around your surrounding area. You could probably pick one up for like a decent price, and they'll last forever. Um, I mean, get an Outback if you can find an old Outback, that would be sick. Even like a 2005, they had like the 6 cylinder in them. Some had a 6 cylinder in them instead of the 4 cylinder, but you could get them for a fairly decent price. Joe, you know I love you with all my heart. I love you so much with all my heart, but I would not drive a Jeep if someone paid me to. I just don't know. I don't like Jeeps, never have. The Liberty are smaller though. Yeah, Subaru has the best all-wheel drive. I just did a few, dog man. I'm probably done with it, with encounters right now because we're about 2 hours and 40 minutes in. I don't know. Zach, what was your question, brother? How fast do Dogman run? Per Victor, 60 something miles an hour. Per Victor. What was Ricky Bobby's dad car? Was that a Buick? Did he have a Buick Grand National? I like Buick Grand Nationals. They're freaking awesome. Seattle is infested with zombies and Subarus. Toyota and Hondas are good. But for a car, just at my own, I would Hondas are great and Toyotas are great, but for my own personal, I would have to go with a Subaru all day and all night. Why do you think, as in teach us about them? Because they want to keep them. They want to keep them a secret. The STI are great. My 1995 Subaru Gravel Express is the greatest Subaru car they ever made because it's literally a WRX, but not badged a WRX. So it's like the perfect sleeper car. What I have a 2023 Forester Wilderness just because my Forester Sport died and it was Subaru's fault, so they gave me that. No. Dogman Junkie, no. Missing 411 is 100% Dogman, Sasquatch and Crawler. No. I would say less than that, and by far a lot less. I would say maybe 30% that. A lot of it is portals. I think a lot more are portals and shit that comes out of portals, to be honest with you. I hate Hellcats. I hate Hellcats. Hellcats are so played out. I am so sick of like when I watch a video on YouTube, all I see is Hellcats, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why do I need to see Hellcats? Does anybody else feel like that? Does anybody else feel like Hellcats are played out? No, Ethan, I did not. I did not get that. Yeah, Hellcats are way played out. I don't know. They're just like, I don't know. Do they vanish? No, no, they don't. I think, well, Tom Mezek did. So yeah. What's a Hellcat? It's a Dodge Challenger, Charger. I don't know. I don't like them. I'm not a Dodge fan, so I don't know really anything about the product. I think they're just all piss. Ooh, a 2003 Impreza STI. I like old Subarus. If I was gonna build like a sports, like my own sports car, like just like a race car, I would probably I would find the Hearst Saab 9.5. So Hearst and Saab created a 9.5 one year, and they were pumping out like 318 horsepower. But it was in a small Saab, so it would fucking just crash, like destroy shit. Chevys are, I would drive a Chevy over a Dodge any day, but I don't think Chevys are good. My dad's truck is a Chevy, but that's from 1971. So that's when they made vehicles better back then. My dream car, if I won the lotto right now, the first thing I would buy is a 1976 Toyota Land Cruiser. Boom, right there. That'd be it. If I could have one of those in my driveway, my Subaru in a Saab sported up, that'd be my garage. What, Gigi? Why? Well, what year is it, Gigi? Is it brand new or is it an older one? Is it a cooler one? If it's a square Camaro, I don't think that's even a Camaro because Camaro's got to have the cool nose. Okay, so it's still a cool one then. So it's like a Joe Dirt Camaro. So you're good. Tyler, if I still had my RX-7, I'd race you. Look at young Jeff. Young Jeff with his RX-7. Look at that beautiful car. Night, Beretta. Nice tie. I looked like a fucking straight dork, didn't I? I was straight dorking it right there. I'm going to do one more encounter, dog man, so you might want to stick around for a little bit. That RX-7 right there only weighed like 2,200 pounds, and it had one turbo on it, but it was putting out. I dynoed it, and it was putting out 410 horsepower. But it was a rotary engine with a Garrett Disco Potato turbo on it. It was fast. It was fast. Here we go. This one's pretty creepy. That's the best part about them, Puma Pete, is that car didn't know redline. An RX-7 does not know redline. Like I'd shift in like 9,000 RPMs. William Menendez, have a good night, my friend. But I literally, I could have died in that car a few times because I was reckless and dumb and reckless. This first encounter took place in the summer of, I believe, in 2016, Ontario, Canada. Although it was a while ago, I still remember every detail like it was yesterday. If I had been alone, I would have chalked it up to something else. But the fact both of us saw this thing is what really puts me off. A friend and I were walking along a trail that runs alongside a main river that cuts through the city. There are some great wooded trails along the river, and some of them even lead to the neighboring city, but I digress. The sun was setting, and it was that time of the evening where it was instantly dark under the tree coverage, but still fairly light beyond the leaves. I had turned on my phone's flashlight to light the way and put some music for the both of us to listen to while we were hustling home. The bugs started to bite, and being so close to the river, they got pretty nasty. I paused to change a song on the phone, and my friend glanced to our left in the woods. She asks me, "What is that?" And instinctively, I turned the light to where she was looking. In the darkness of the brush and trees, we watch as this thing takes off running deeper into the woods with its back turned to us. It was making a ton of noise, twigs snapping, leaves rustling. It really didn't seem to care. Now, there are deer on this trail. I've seen a few of them on my walks during the day, but this was absolutely no deer. Even in such a short amount of time, the image of this thing running from us is burned into my mind. It was on all fours. It had an awkward gait like a human trying to run on its hands and feet, meaning its arms were far too short compared to its legs to be running like that. This thing was white, and the light reflected off of its leathery looking skin. It was skinny, with thin arms and legs. The two of us didn't stick around much longer after that, and instead chose to run the rest of the way off the trail until we hit the end that leads to a soccer field. We never spoke about it after that, and if we did, it was sort of just in passing. That was until the other day I was scrolling on the internet for my city and paused a minute, and I saw a title informing people to stay away from the river trails. Curiously, I checked out the post. The post described exactly what my friend and I had seen that night on those exact set of trails. I broke out in a cold sweat and immediately texted her, despite not speaking for a while as adulthood kind of caught up to us. She told me that she still thinks about that night and does so at least once a week. I linked her to the post and she was floored by it. I unfortunately wouldn't be able to link to the post as it gives identifying details, but reading through the replies, it was what you would expect. People chalked it up to a guy being mentally ill, joking about him being on drugs, and people who generally took him seriously were being devoured and mocked. Someone mentioned it was all bull in the stories of these things that have been going around for years, meaning it was probably a one off experience. I'm always a little hesitant to share my experience out of fear of getting ridiculed. I know what I saw that night, and knowing it's possibly still in those woods still kind of freaks me out and has me unsettled. All right, guys. We are 3 hours in. I want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. I had a blast. Firehorse, have a good night. Thank you for being here tonight, too. Two-way. Yeah, crawlers seem to be popping up a lot as of late. As of late, they do. You're right. Do something. It's only 11. Oh, so you're on the West Coast. Yeah, I'm going to get some rest right now. Actually, when I get off of here, I'm going to look up that cat calendar. I will look at that, Nicole. I probably won't respond until tomorrow morning, though. So, anyway, guys, I had a blast tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me once again. I really appreciate. I don't know what I would do. I know that my Saturday nights before I started the live stream was just recording videos and reading and researching things, but I have way more fun doing this. I'm a single dad. I don't party anymore. So I don't have anything else to do but hang out with you guys. So I love hanging out with you guys. And you guys literally make my Saturday night. You guys make my Saturday night special. So thank you. And there's not a group of people I would want to spend it with other than you guys. Caden Ciro, I love you, man. Stephen Knight, Neck, Jessica, Joe, Andy, have a good night. Dogman Junkie, good night. Even Tyler in his just amazing life that he has. I love you, brother. Thank you, Ethan. I'm looking forward to that email. Please try to resend that. Breezy333, have a good night. Chu Perez, stay blessed, everybody. Oh, one thing. Look up tonight or tomorrow, if you remember. England, the United Kingdom, just shot a laser at a drone. They used there's a video of it. So it is possible of reversing it and shooting from satellites a laser. So if someone says, no, they don't shoot lasers from satellites, that's damn well possible because the United Kingdom just posted a video of them shooting a drone out of the sky. And the drone was like going very quick. Check that video out. It was pretty fucking interesting. So with that, have a good night. Don't let your meat loaf. And I love you all. Just like Ozzy. I love you all. Good night.